Привет, or hi, and welcome back to the Cuzzy Sound channel. So you might be wondering what's with the badly pronounced Russian there. Well, this time last year I had the idea of building a sci-fi themed noise box as a gift for a musician friend of mine. This year I thought I'd have another go at a themed noise box, and this time round the theme I chose was the Cold War. So the result was a remote missile launch control box, and here it is. Now what we're going to do, we'll have a closer look at what all the controls are on the front, and we'll have a look at what the circuits are inside, and even listen to what it sounds like, which is a little crazy and is guaranteed to annoy the neighbours. This will probably end up as a gift for another friend of mine, and hopefully he will appreciate it, though I suspect his dogs won't. So here we have the Cold War themed remote missile launch console. We'll have a look at the controls on the top panel. The main switches, there's two main switches here, are the missile style with the flip tops, and the switch actually is illuminated with an LED in the end. So there's the green switch is labelled ARM. I've actually used a pseudo Russian font to promote that Cold War theme, and even a little CCCP sticker at the top there. So the green switch turns on the power to an oscillator, and the frequency of the oscillator is controlled from this first knob here. It also turns power on to a small amplifier, and the volume of that is controlled with this knob, and the small amplifier drives the speaker behind the grill here. The second switch, the red switch, this one is labelled launch. This one turns on a low frequency oscillator. The speed or rate of the LFO is controlled by this knob here, and then this knob here in the far left position, the LFO will give out a square wave, and as you turn it over to the far right position, it converts that square wave into something which approximates to a triangle wave. The top panel, it's just an aluminium sheet, and I've edged it with what is actually the kitchen unit trim from the DIY shop. The little knobs here, I got these from an electronics surplus shop. These are off some really old equipment, and I had to re-tap the holes for the locking screws so I could get metric grub screws in there. There is one other item here. There's a yellow LED in the middle of the panel here. That's linked to the output from the LFO, so as the speed of the LFO increases, then the flash rate of this LED will increase. So let's have a look at what the circuits look like inside. I've taken there's a normally fixing screws in the side of the panel here, but if we lift the lid off the bottom, first thing to see is, in keeping with most of my little boxes projects, this runs off a single 9-volt battery. So we can spin it round, we can have a look at what the circuits are in there. So this is the green switch that we saw on the top, which provides power to the circuit here. This is a VCO, a voltage controlled oscillator, based around the 4046 chip. Very, very simple design. It also, and the potentiometer, which is actually mounted on the circuit board, which is why it sits there like that, controls the frequency of that oscillator. It also puts power to this amplifier circuit, which is an LM386, and this pot here is essentially the volume control that you could see on the top. And then the output goes to the speaker mounted to the panel there. The red switch on the top, which is this one, puts power to the LFO circuit, which is a very simple circuit utilising an NE5532 op amp. This is the rate control, so this will control the speed of the LFO, and this is the wave control, which, as I said when it was on the other side, will determine whether it's a square wave or tending towards a triangle wave. And then the output from the LFO is fed into the control voltage input on the 4046 VCO chip. And that's it really. It's a very simple circuit, which is an oscillator which is then turned into a siren using an LFO. But on builds like this, I'm not really going for sophistication in electronics. What I'm going for is the overall theme of the device, and on this occasion the overall theme was Cold War. So developing that theme, what's Cold War associated with? The launch of ballistic missiles. So here we have a remote ballistic missile launch console. So what does it actually sound like in operation? Okay, stand by, it's going to get noisy. Well, they are. That's what the device sounds like in operation, and hopefully you've been inspired to some extent to think about some kind of creative designs of your own for your noise boxes. If you have, then go on, have a go, build your own.